Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the Tumble Creatures YouTube channel. I am a polymer clay artist. I sculpt handmade creatures of cuteness in polymer clay, and today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of the process of making this silver dapple pony, and I dearly love this one. This is one of my favorite sculpts I've ever made, and yeah, I thought that I would film some of the process of that. If you can hear heavy panting, come here, Kazi. This is my studio buddy, Cosmo. Come here, come here. Oh, there he is, climbed up on me. Oh, thank you. Can you say, oh, thank you. He's such a big love, such a sweetheart. This is Cosmo. He's our 3-year-old giant schnauzer, and we love him very much. This was just me introducing this video. What I'm going to be talking about today is art block, a brief description of what it is, and some of my tips for getting past it. And let's go ahead and get into the video, and yeah, thanks for being here. So I think the first helpful thing to do when we're talking about art block is to define what it is. And to me, art block has always been either a complete inability to make new work or a complete lack of desire to even make new work. You feel like you're just completely out of ideas. The love that you once had for making art is gone, and you find yourself doing everything and anything except for sitting down and making art and sculpting. This is something that affects both professional and hobby artists, and it can be one of the most demoralizing things in the world when you actually do want to make art, but you just feel like you just can't. So how do we get rid of this? You know, everybody is different. Some people work better under pressure and having deadlines and goals, and some people, do better when they have a little bit of rest. And so I think that it works best when you can look at your own life and realize, have you just been pushing constantly, trying to get through, trying to push yourself through the block, and that's not working? Maybe you need to take a little bit of rest. If you've been doing the opposite and maybe you've been staying away from your art, hoping just that spark of motivation will come and find you, then that's when you jump back in and you get back into making art. And for most people, I do feel like that's usually the thing that happens most, is that, especially if you're not a professional, right? If you're a professional artist, you make your living by making art, you force yourself to be creative, and that is a different type of despair because you have to be able to find something that brings you the same joy of creating that creating work for yourself does as well. But this is something that has a lot more pressure attached to it, right? So it's a little bit different, but I think we can work on some things that will help us get out of this block. So here are some things that I have found very helpful for myself, and I'm going to list them for you. There are 10 here. So the first thing that I've found to be most important is to just keep making art. Don't stop for long periods of time. If you need a break, take a break for a few hours. If you need a break for an evening, if you need a break for a morning, if you need a break of any type, take it. But don't take too long of a break. Keep making art. Keep to a schedule. I think that is so, so important, because the tendency to want to just back off when the pressure gets too hard, when it feels like we're just failing over and over again, is so real. You just have to continuously make art. So I think this is super important. I think pushing yourself is great. Just be aware of if maybe you're pushing yourself a little bit too much. Tip number 2 is to create something completely different. Use different tools, try different colors, use a different medium. Do something that is completely different than what you usually do. Even if the thing you usually do is the thing that brings you the most joy, even if that is the thing that brings you the most customers and clients, maybe it's time to try something a little bit different. One of the things that helps me with any type of an art block, and that helps me to feel a lot of excitement about making art again, is the process of learning something new. So I try to work that into my schedule throughout the whole year, try to find things that I'm not good at, even though that's uncomfortable as well, to have that joy and that excitement of learning something new. Tip number 3 is, okay, take a day off, take a night off, take an hour off. But this is important. Put your phone down and do something else that makes you happy. It can be baking, crocheting, sewing, some type of hobby that you've been wanting to do that you really enjoy, doing a puzzle, reading a book, something that refreshes your soul, something that makes you feel good. Walks, reading, spending time with your family, spending time with your friends, play some games, hang out with your pet, call your mom if you haven't talked to her in a while. Do something that makes you happy. Tip number 4 is to seek inspiration from new sources. This is a huge one. I feel like social media is obviously one of the best things to happen to artists, because so many artists are able to get their work in front of people who never would have had the chance to see it before. Tumble Creatures exists because social media exists, and I think that is just an incredibly cool and amazing thing, and it has brought so much joy to my life, and it has changed my art in the best possible way. But something that it can be in a real negative way and can be very debilitating to artists is if you compare yourself to other artists too much. Whether it's you compare your work to them or you compare your social media following to them, that really can bring you down, and then that makes you not want to make more work, right? So my tip is to search out things that intrigue and inspire you that is away from social media. Look through old books, go to the library, look at magazines, look at movies or cartoons that you found beautiful in the past. Think about the things that you used to love when you were a kid. Go find those, go find some inspiration there. Tip number 5 is to make something for your eyes only. Give yourself a dragon day. This is something that I did that actually is how Tumble Creatures were created. I was a watercolor portrait artist, and I took a day to just make a cute dragon. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm good at this, and I think I want to keep doing this more. So make something just for yourself. Maybe something you've been wanting to do for a while, but you haven't allowed yourself to do. Tip number 6 is to create a ritual. Have a cup of tea, have some music playing, light some candles, make it a fun experience to go and create. Tip number 7 is to get good listening material like an audiobook or a podcast or a new playlist, something that you only listen to when you're working. That can be motivation to get started right there. Tip number 8 is to do something that is low stakes, something that you know you will succeed at. Tip number 9 is don't take too much time off. So I feel like I've kind of belabored this point a lot, but I feel like this is so important. So many artists, when they get confronted with an art block, they just quit. And I don't want that to happen to you. So keep making work. Don't take too much time off. Tip number 10 is to remember that this will pass. You've gotten out of periods of blocks before, and you can and you will do it again. And oftentimes, at the end of a creative block is when you will see a huge creative burst. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this little Tumble creature come to life and listening to me talk about some things that I found helpful with art block. And just as a quick bonus, if you've made it to the end of this video and you love this little dapple gray pony, which is one of my personal favorites, she is in the shop as a pre-order for this weekend only. So starting February 3rd, she will be gone. And if you've made it this far, you can get free shipping by enter the code YTFreeShip. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you in my next video.